Hi Year 2, welcome to our third day of looking at our book. Now before we begin, can you tell me what the title is? Tell me to the computer. Grandma and the Leopard. I hope you've been enjoying it. Now, is this a fiction text? It is. Can you tell someone nearby you or tell your teddy, what is a fiction text? What does that mean? If it's a fiction text, that means it's made up and it's a make-believe story. And if it's a real story and it's based on real events, then it's a non-fiction text. Now, can we put these events in the order that they took place in? You're going to need to pause the video in a second and read each event. And then I want you to order them 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the order that they took place. Pause me now. Okay, the first thing that happened is that Ava told Elsie a bedtime story. The second thing that happened out of these events is that Ava told Elsie that leopards were friendly because Elsie got really scared. The third thing that happened is that Grandma had to come to school to help Elsie, but she came with pots and pans. And the fourth thing that happens is that Ava then carried pots and pans in her backpack. What a lovely big sister. Now we're going to read the text by playing Jump In. Even if I don't pause on them, I would love you to jump in anyway when you hear one of our 5 new words.
Chapter 1, Grandma's Scary Story. One day, Ava's grandma told her a scary story. Once when I was a little girl in Africa, whispered Grandma, I was walking to school one day. I looked into the bush and saw 2 eyes staring straight at me. They glowed like golden fire. I saw sharp white teeth and I heard a low growl. Grr. Oh no, said Ava nervously. What was it? It was a huge leopard, Grandma replied. I had never seen one before. It crouched down, ready to pounce. I started to run, but it leaped out of the bush and chased after me. I bet you ran fast, gasped Ava. Yes, said Grandma, I ran like the wind, but it was right behind me and I could almost feel its hot breath on my neck. And then, don't tell me any more, Ava yelped. But this story has a happy ending, said Grandma. I escaped from that leopard. Don't you want to know how? But Ava couldn't hear because she had her hands over her ears. The next day, Ava couldn't get Grandma's story out of her mind. Is that hot leopard breath on my neck? She thought. She spun around. There was nothing there. She cried out, I can see golden eyes in that bush. But when she looked again, it was just 2 scraps of golden paper glittering in the sun. Stop imagining things, Ava told herself. There are no leopards in this country. Chapter 2. A leopard is chasing me. Ava's little sister was called Elsie. That night, Elsie was too excited to sleep. Tomorrow was her very first day at school. Tell me a story, Ava, she begged. There was only one story in Ava's head, the one that Grandma had told her. Ava told Elsie about the leopard that chased Grandma. Elsie listened to the story and got more and more frightened. She hid under the bed covers. "Help!" she yelled. "A scary leopard is chasing me." In the middle of the night, a strange sound woke Ava. "What's that noise?" she wondered. It was Elsie, whimpering with fear. She was looking at something in the dark room. "Is that a leopard coming to get me?" she asked. "No, don't be silly," said Ava. "That's just my dressing gown hanging on the door. Go back to sleep." But the next morning, Elsie was still frightened. "I'm not going to school," Elsie said firmly. "A scary leopard might get me on the way." "Oh no," thought Ava, feeling worried. "If she won't go to school, Dad will get cross and I'll get into trouble." Somehow she had to find a way to stop Elsie being scared of leopards. Chapter 3. Little sisters are a big pain. After breakfast, Dad called out, "Girls, it's time to walk to school," but Elsie hid under the table and wouldn't come out. "I told you there are no leopards around here," said Ava. "One might have to come here in an aeroplane," said Elsie. Ava sighed. "What else can I say?" she thought. Suddenly, a brilliant idea whooshed into her head. It lit up her brain like fireworks. She told Elsie Grandma was wrong. The leopard had chased her, didn't want to hurt her. It just wanted to be her friend. "Are you sure leopards like making friends?" asked Elsie. "Yes," said Ava quickly. "Leopards are lovely." Elsie thought for a moment. "All right then," she said. "I'll go to school." "Phew," Ava sighed. But when they were walking to school, Elsie suddenly shrieked. "I heard something growling. It must be a leopard." "Shh," said Ava, hoping Dad hadn't heard. "It's just a little dog, but remember, if you do want to meet a leopard, it won't hurt you. It just wants to be your friend." They were nearly at school when Elsie cried out again. "I can feel a leopard breathing on my neck." "It isn't leopard breath, it's just a warm breeze," snapped Ava, who was getting fed up with this whole leopard business. They finally reached the school gates without any more trouble. Ava said to herself, "Phew, I didn't think we'd make it. Little sisters are a big pain." Chapter 4. Grandma to the Rescue. It was nearly home time. Ava was in her classroom when the head teacher knocked and came in. "Can Ava please go to reception class right away?" she asked Ava's teacher. "Elsie needs her help." What now? When Ava got there, Elsie's teacher was looking worried. "Elsie has shut herself in the cupboard," she told Ava. "She doesn't want to go home." Ava went to the cupboard. Elsie, it's me, Ava, she called as she opened the door. What's the matter? This morning you didn't want to go to school and now you don't want to go home. I might meet a leopard on the way, whispered Elsie from inside the cupboard. You were wrong about leopards, Ava. They don't want to be friends. They want to gobble you up. Who told you that? Said Ava. A book told me, replied Elsie. Oh dear, said the teacher. I know which book that is. She took a book from her shelf. There was a picture inside it of a snarling leopard with fierce golden eyes and teeth as sharp as knives. Ava thought, no wonder Elsie got scared. But how could she get her little sister out of the cupboard? Then she had an idea. Ava turned to Elsie's teacher. Please can I call my grandma? Ava explained everything to Grandma. Don't worry, I'm on my way, said Grandma. When Grandma arrived at the school, she was carrying lots of pots and pans. Ava was amazed. Why did you bring those? She asked. You didn't hear the end of my story, did you? Laughed Grandma. When my friends saw the leopard chasing me, they came rushing out of the school with pots and pans. They made a terrible noise and scared the leopard away. Grandma went over to the cupboard. Elsie, this is Grandma, she said. We're going to scare that leopard away. Just listen. Clash. Bash. At last, Grandma and Ava stopped. Grandma bent down to Elsie. It's all right to come out now, she told Elsie. We've scared that naughty leopard away. Thanks for coming to the rescue, Grandma, grinned Ava, giving her a big hug. You're the best. Chapter 5. Ava to the rescue. The next day, Ava thought her little sister's troubles were over, but she was wrong. Dad asked Ava, will you walk Elsie to school this morning? But Elsie refused. I'm not going. What if I see a leopard? You will scare it away like Grandma did yesterday, or will you? Ava groaned. This leopard thing is getting ridiculous. But she could see her little sister wasn't going to give in. What could she do? She thought hard. Later, Ava walked to school holding Elsie's hands. Ava's friends asked, why are you carrying all those pots and pans? Well, replied Ava with a mischievous smile, it all started when Grandma got chased by a leopard.
Okay, now we're going to look at an example of an inference question before it's your turn. So in order to answer these questions, I need to follow my steps to success. The first step is to read the question. Here we go. Why was Elsie unsure about leopards being friendly? Paragraph 2. Who can remember what a paragraph was? Tell me to the computer. Exactly, it's a chunk of writing. This means I need to go to the second chunk of writing, and this is the text here that you would find on your sheet today. Second step is to underline the key words in the question. Why was Elsie unsure about leopards being friendly? Why was Elsie, maybe unsure is a key word as well. That's how she was feeling about leopards being friendly. Paragraph 2. Step number 3 is to find the evidence. So I need to read paragraph 2 and see if I can answer the question as a result. Suddenly, a brilliant idea rushed into her head. It lit up her brain like fireworks. She told Elsie, Grandma was wrong. The leopard that chased her didn't want to hurt her. That seems important. It just wanted to be her friend. Are you sure leopards like making friends? There we go. Are you sure? That's her being unsure, isn't it? Asked Elsie. Yes, said Ava quickly. Leopards are lovely. Elsie thought for a moment. Again, she's thinking for a bit of time there. All right then, she said. I'll go to school. Phew, Ava sighed. Step number 4, reread the question. Have I answered it? Why was Elsie unsure about leopards being friendly? Well, what Elsie thought at first was that the leopard chased her would hurt her. That's what Ava was saying was not right and that they're friendly. So Elsie first believed that leopards would chase her and would want to hurt her. That's what I want to answer. So because I'm explaining why, I can use my lovely word because. Because Elsie was told that the leopard would hurt her first. Okay, before she was told that actually they were friendly. I would be skeptical too and be unsure if I was Elsie. There we go. I need to make sure I'm writing on the lines. Okay. Now it's your turn to follow the independent task. Again, you've got 4 questions this time and lots of space to write your answers. Try and include that main word because on there as well. In fact, I will write it here to help. Because, okay? Now, remember to follow our steps to success and have a go at the challenge. In paragraph 2, it says, a brilliant idea lit up Ava's brain like fireworks. Now, if something's like something without actually being it, then it's a simile. The challenge is, what other similes could you use to describe the brilliant idea? Maybe it would light up her brain like a bonfire. Maybe it would light up her brain like lots of light switches going on in a big building. Maybe it would light up her brain like a fridge opening in the night. There's lots of different similes that you could come up with, and I can't wait to see what you choose. Happy reading, everybody!